When Hubway launched back in 2011, the idea that public sharing bikes to get around Boston was a novelty. Now we take it for granted, which explains why a number of other bike share companies have set up shop in the Boston area. And while their growth may have cut carbon emissions and strengthened countless calves, it's also created some headaches. Adam Reilly has more.
The idea behind Ant Bicycle is simple, even elegant. Download the app, use it to unlock a bike, and ride to your heart's content for the low price of $1 an hour. But in Swampscott, the reality of Ant bikes has been a bit messier.
I don't think having dozens of bikes strewn around the community really makes a great strategy.
Swampscott Town Administrator Sean Fitzgerald appreciates that the bikes, which can be parked wherever riders finish their trips, give tourists and locals an easy way to get to the tee or reach the beach. On the other hand, he says Ant's management of its fleet has been way too hands-off.
I would expect that a company had custodial care for the bike, that understood that if the bike wound up in an inappropriate area like the ocean, that they would come down and pick it up. I don't want that bike to be looked at as debris.
The rise of dockless bike share programs like Ant, Lime, and OFO has tested our collective ability to act like adults. In Quincy, police dragged 2 dockless bikes out of the ocean. Only one survived. The Belmont PD actually told residents not to call 911 to report dockless bikes. And in Boston, dockless bikes just sitting in neighborhoods have developed a reputation for getting in the way.
We want to make sure that kids and seniors and any of us with mobility issues have an easy way of being able to get through our streets in the city of Boston.
Chris Osgood, Boston's chief of streets, says more access to bikes is a good thing. Still, he adds, the only bike share system allowed in Boston is Blue Bikes, which comes with a place to park. Right now, the Ant Bicycle app shows plenty of bikes inside Boston's borders. Co-founder John Gallagher says Ant's working with a handful of developments that lack easy access to Blue Bikes, and that problem Ant bikes are removed as quickly as possible.
We assign them a priority level depending on what the issue is. If it's a bike blocking a certain access way, that's #1 priority. And an issue like that we can address probably within 1 to 2 hours.
He also says Ant has been shifting unneeded bikes out of Swampscott in hopes of maintaining its deal there. One day, Gallagher adds, he'd love to reach an agreement with Boston, too.
We actually believe that there's room for probably two systems or more of bike share in the city of Boston. Right? The Blue Bikes are solving one problem, but we think dockless bike share can actually solve a lot of other issues.
Adam Reilly joins me now. So I'm the first to admit I'm not Warren Buffett. But you don't need to be Warren Buffett to know you can't make any money on charging $1 an hour, right?
Maybe at the moment it's hard to make a ton of money, especially when people throw some of the bikes in the ocean or have their way with them in some other manner. Right now, I think the big lion's share of the revenue comes from the rentals themselves, which, as you point out, isn't that much. But if you get big enough, you can mount advertising campaigns. We've seen that done, for example, in China by OFO. Yeah, exactly, where they decked out. What's the little thing from Despicable Me, the little cute cartoon character? Anyway, they did that as a huge promo. And in addition, this is sort of creepy and sort of intriguing. I think a lot of these companies in the future may try to sell data that they get about the way different users go from point A to point B to point C, either to public entities or private entities.
So if this is such an appealing market, did we not learn, I think it was yesterday, that OFO is pulling out of Worcester and Quincy?
Yeah, that's the yellow bike company, and they were the ones who were dragged out of the water in Quincy.
Right, so why are they leaving if things are so great?
They started, I think, just 4 years ago. They got incredibly big, incredibly quickly. They went from China to basically the entire rest of the world, and I think they just got out ahead of their skis. Clearly, no matter how big you are, the business model still needs to be tweaked a little bit.
Did you bike here tonight?
No, I did not.
I didn't think so. Nice to see you, Adam Reilly. Thanks.